In this video, I'll show you just how easy it is to build a garage in Autostrek. I'll be working in metric, but if you prefer imperial measurements, you can switch to that too. Right, let's start by choosing the overall size of the garage. For this one, I'm using custom so I can type in exactly what I want. Next, I make sure the center-to-center measurement is set correctly so the framing lines up properly. For garages, it's very common to add a foundation wall. At the moment, the width is fixed, but the key setting here is the height. So I select the foundation wall, and I'm happy leaving the height on the default for this build. Now for the walls. I set the wall height, and for this garage I'm using custom stud dimensions, so I simply type in the size I want, then click Set. Double top plates are turned on by default, which is perfect. I'm not insulating this garage today. I'm just adding siding. But if you want insulation, you can enable that here as well. For the roof, I choose gable and leave the rest of the settings as they are. I'm using a simple collar tie, because I'll be using prefabricated roof trusses anyway. I keep the default roof pitch and overhang, and then I enable the extras, flashing, gutters, and also counter battens and tile battens. All of that stays on the default settings for now. Next, I choose my preferred roof style, set the gap to 0, and I leave stagger rows unticked. And that's it. Now I just click Generate. In a split second, the garage is built. I can use the timeline slider to quickly inspect the build step by step and make sure everything looks right. If I want to fine-tune anything, I can use the live edit tools, especially useful for roof details. For example, I can double-check the gutter and make sure the downpipe sits correctly. Small variations can happen depending on roof pitch, so these controls make it quick to get everything spot on. A handy tip here, switch to orthographic view for easier alignment and adjustments. And if you forget, no problem. You can always come back and tweak it later. Now I'll add a texture to the foundation. I open Model Color, make sure the texture brush is enabled, and apply the concrete look to the foundation. One important tip, when you're done, set the texture back to something like spruce and turn the brush off. That way you won't accidentally paint your construction lumber with concrete when you start adding doors and windows. Now the structure looks good, so let's add doors and windows. The Opening Framer tool makes this easy. You simply choose what type of opening you want, window, door, garage door, and so on. You'll also see a red helper line that helps you keep the correct height as you move around the building. If you can't see it, just zoom in or out slightly. For accuracy, you can use the number inputs to set exactas distances from the ends. And to resize an opening, drag the small handle in the corner of the purple frame. If you need a center guide, hold Shift to place a center helper line. Autostrek automatically builds the framing around the opening, extra studs, cripple studs, headers, everything you'd expect. Inspect and tweak. I'll jump back into 3D for a quick look, then decide where I want an entrance door and a couple of windows. For this demo, I'm placing them fairly randomly just to show how it works. Quick tip, in 2D mode, hold the middle mouse button to orbit slightly, so you can confirm which wall you're working on. Then double-click anywhere outside the model to snap back to a perfect 2D view. And just like that, the garage is ready to build in real life. If I want to reinforce anything, like adding double studs next to a door or window, I can simply duplicate a stud and place it using the Move tool. The cut list is generated automatically, and the bill of materials is ready too. Then you can add supplier prices to get a quick cost estimate. Finally, let's visualize the model. I open the Autostrek AI Render tool. There are loads of options, but I want to test the new drawing tools. These let you tell the AI where to add extra elements, like an asphalt driveway, hedges, mountains, or anything else, by sketching simple shapes directly on the canvas, then describing what they are. And that's the workflow: design, generate, inspect, fine-tune, and visualize, all in minutes.